Hi, friends. Today's book is called Crickwing. Far below the great forest canopy lies a shadowy world that many insects call home. Among the damp clutter of fallen leaves and branches, leaf-cutting ants toil all day while large cockroaches wait their evening search for food. One cockroach had looked like all the others until a close call with a hungry toad. In his wild escape from the toad's sticky tongue, he had twisted one of his fine long wings. Since then, everyone called him Crickwing. Crickwing despised his nickname. Despised, what does that mean? Crickwing despised his nickname, and he avoided hearing it by staying far away from the other creatures. He would sneak out to find his food when the night was darkest, knowing that the forest was crawling with predators, even worse than ravenous toads. Predators! I know who likes predators. The forest seemed much less fearsome whenever Crickwing found a nice pile of tasty leaves, roots, and petals. He took comfort in their bright colors and interesting shapes, and he often built sculptures from them before he ate them. When he was busy playing with his food, he could almost forget the pain in his crooked wing. One night, Crickwing created his most wonderful sculpture ever. He was so absorbed in his work that he didn't hear the soft footsteps behind him. Pow! Swoosh! A sharp-eyed monkey clobbered Crickwing and swiped his sculpture. Crickwing dived for cover. I only let him get away with that because he's so big, he grumbled, cowering under a rotten log. Crickwing hid until the next night when hunger drove him out to search for a meal. But as soon as he had added the final flower petal to his dinner, an enormous, scaly lizard nearly gulped him down. Crickwing dodged, and the lizard took off with his edible artwork. Another masterpiece ruined, Crickwing panted. I'm starving and my wing aches. I don't know if I can take this much longer. The next night, things got even worse. An ocelot pounced and nearly crushed Crickwing. An ocelot, Nicholas, your favorite. One of your favorites, right? When he darted away, the ocelot scooped him up in her massive paw and threw him high into the air. Oh no, Crickwing wailed. Not again. That ocelot looks kind of beautiful, even though she's mean. When he landed, Crickwing scrambled about in a panic and leapt into a crevice under a stone, where he collapsed in angry tears. I'm so tired of having to run from giant predators, he seethed. Seethe, that's another good word. You can ask what that means. I hate being so small, and I hate never being able to finish a meal. I'm a mere exoskeleton. Bet you know what that means, too. You guys know lots of big words that are in this book. Through the long night, Crickwing's wing throbbed as he waited in his hideout. Look at the eyes there. Many hours later, sunlight streamed into his cave, and the leaf-cutting ants began another busy day. Thousands of tiny workers carried large slices of leaves back to their colony. Crickwing, groggy and still angry, crept out for a better look. Ha! These guys are even punier than I am, he muttered. None of the ants seemed to notice him. Crickwing inched closer. There was something about these eensy critters that just bugs me. Why isn't anyone bothering these little twerps? He placed a spiny leg across the leafcutter path. Let's see what happens now, he chortled. Have a nice trip. See you next fall. That's mean. Several ants stumbled, but then went back to work as if Crickwing weren't even there. This will get their attention, he growled, picking up a leaf from the path. The ant carrying the leaf hung on tight, which gave Crickwing a dastardly idea. He hung several ants from a vine one by one and watched with glee as their tiny legs flailed. Crickwing laughed so hard that he nearly forgot his aching wing. That night, Crickwing wolfed down a sweet flower bud, not even noticing its dazzling purple color. He had work to do. seems terrible. Look at that. That is really, really mean. Right in the middle of the leafcutter trail, he dug a deep hole in the ground. Then he crouched behind a rock, waiting to see what the ants would do. In the very early dawn, the ants rose as usual and went to work. When they returned, their cargo clamped in their jaws, they could barely see their way. They plummeted into the trap, piling into a great green heap. "These muddling molecules are so easy to fool," snorted Crickwing. Oh, look at that trap. I think he's forgotten how to be kind. Back in the leafcutter colony, the queen of the ants called a meeting. "This week's production is down," she barked. "What on earth is going on?" "It's a cockroach, Your Highness," stammered Tara. "He's picking on us," added Gravel. "No cockroach meddles with our colony. Seize him," ordered the queen. The next morning, the ants found Crickwing fussing with his latest ant trap. He had no chance for escape as thousands of leafcutters swarmed over him, dragged him back to the anthill, and marched him down its dark, winding corridors. When the tunnels narrowed, the ants crammed Crickwing through one final tight spot. Pop! His wings snapped back into place, and he realized that the throbbing ache was gone. Before he could give it another thought, the ants pulled their prisoner into a chamber and buried him up to his neck. For hours, the whole colony filed by, whispering to one another, "How do you think he became so awful? And his mother must be heartbroken." "That big oaf showed up just in time for the annual peace offering to the army ants," crowed the queen. "There's no way they'll attack us if we hand this hefty no-gooder over to them. Truss him up like the fat turkey he is and ship him out." The leafcutters bound Crickwing, hauled him back through the dim tunnels, and carried him up into the forest. Oh, he's in a bad spot now. The ants hiked in silence for a long time. "I can't do this," Eartha blurted at last. "Neither can I," Tara shuddered. "Remember the giant beetle we brought to the army ants last year?" "Yeah, they took him apart before we could even turn around and leave," quavered Gravel. Crickwing gulped. "Nobody deserves that, not even this big bully," said Eartha. "I say let him go. He never really hurt any of us." "What will he tell the queen?" Tara gasped. "And what about the army ants?" Gravel howled. They'll level our colony." "I just can't watch them shred this guy," insisted Eartha. "We'll figure something out on the way back. Let's go." The ants released Crickwing and fled. And it looks like they took their ropes too. Crickwing was stunned. "The queen is going to have their heads, and the whole leafcutter colony is now in serious danger, all because of me." Now that his wing was no longer hurt, he could think clearly. "I have to do something, but what?" And then Crickwing had a brilliant idea. "Wait, wait," he yelled, racing after the leafcutters. "I can help. Wait." He described his plan, and the ants listened carefully. "We'll have to move quickly, but if every ant pitches in, I think it'll work," Crickwing said. "Can we trust this yahoo?" yelped Gravel. "Do we have much choice?" snapped Tara. "The plan is worth a try, and we'll do our best to win the patience of the queen," Eartha promised. "But we don't have much time." "Jump on my back, all of you," said Crickwing. "I am one fast runner." In a far corner of the forest, in the army ant camp, the lieutenant paced angrily. "Those leaf-eating fools are late," she snarled. "If we don't have our peace offering by tomorrow at dawn, we march in and take what's rightfully ours." As the hours passed, the army ants grew more agitated. What does agitated mean? I love the big words in this book. It's so good. At first light, the army swarmed from its nest, ready for conquest. "No one," shouted the lieutenant. "Absolutely no one keeps the army ants waiting." They poured like an angry river down the trail to the leafcutter anthill. As the ferocious ants turned the final bend, they stopped dead in their tracks. Got that whole big army of ants. Wow. What is that? Oh, Paul, you know what this is. What is this? For a long, silent moment, they stared at the hugest, strangest, greenest anteater they'd ever seen. It loomed high over them. Its terrible tongue dangled from its mouth. The lieutenant's squeaky voice broke the quiet. "Halt! About face! Run away!" The army ants tripped over one another as they scrambled back toward their camp, none of them daring to look back. Eek! Because what do anteaters eat? Ants. Crickwing and the leaf-cutting ants peered from atop the leafy anteater's head, watching the warriors fade into the forest. They all held their breath until the entire terrified horde had vanished. Then the queen approached. "I don't think we'll be seeing them ever again, thanks to you and your enormous sculpture, Crickwing," she said. "Or should we call you Straightwing now? We need someone to help us keep this anteater in order, so I hope you will decide to join our colony. And I hear that you're an incredible chef." "Oh, I just like to play with my food," Crickwing replied. "And please, call me Crickwing. Your Highness, I would very much like to stay. The first thing I want to do is prepare a celebration feast for everybody." "3 cheers for Crickwing," shouted Eartha. All the ants joined the cheer, then rushed into the forest. They gathered the brightest flower petals they could find and cut them into sparkling bits. All night at the banquet, everyone threw flower confetti, danced the 6-step, and sang until sunlight came creeping through the trees. The queen peeked at the dawn and blinked drowsily. "I declare today a holiday," she yawned. "Hear, hear," said Crickwing, and for the first time in colony history, the leaf cutters took a day off. I bet you guys could have a little party like the ants and Crickwing. Do you think you could make some confetti? I think you should make some confetti and have a little dance party in your house. And then maybe if it stays beautiful outside, you can go to look for ants, cockroaches, and other things that you can find maybe under a rock, maybe on your porch. I don't know. Take a look. All right, guys, another book soon. Bye-bye.